All right, guys, today we're going to be reacting to Rachel Wilson Cook's ignorant feminist who insulted Andrew. Jump in, guys.
Whenever people say silly things like, oh, I feel sorry for your wife and kids, I always say, I'm happy to come on and, say hello and, just field any questions you guys might have about what it's like to be married to a based giga chad like Andrew. So if you got anything to say, here I am.
Quiet now.
I'll go first then. How do you
Okay.
feel with your husband making these comments on
What
live as
comments?
well? Just saying rude things to women or screaming over them. How do you feel with that?
Well, he doesn't say rude things to women until they say something rude to him first. So Bangs was the first one to say, he's got wrinkles and he's old and he's got gray hair and
Okay.
he's gross. So of course he's gonna say something back. And they've had exchanges back and forth before. And she's plenty happy to be rude and say mean things to him first. Everyone thinks that's okay because she's a woman. But if Andrew just simply gives her a taste of her own medicine back, you all go, you believe he said that? And it's like, why? Why is it fine for her to insult him, but it's uncalled for when he just simply gives it back to her? What's wrong with that?
Also, last time I was on here, he said that I wasn't a 10 because I had small boobies.
Oh my god. Oh my god. For the first time in her life, somebody told her she's not that old, she's not that oof. Oh, for the first time. The world should stop, guys. The world should stop. Stop and we should end the world, man. We should end it. We should stop it because of that comment. Give me a break.
And I didn't do anything. I just said I was a 10.
I have a question for you too. He said that you're getting worse with age. How do you feel about that?
Well, I've been on the show myself, and I'm 44 years old. I've had 5 kids. So no, I'm not as hot as I was when I was 22. This is a fact of life that all women have to deal with. The time of your life that you're hot it's short and it's limited. You're not gonna always be a hot chick. So you can't expect that part of your life to last forever. I mean, it's just a fact of life that we all get less attractive as we age. Doesn't mean he's not attracted to me or I'm not attracted to him, but I'm not as hot as I was when I was 22. In fact, when I was on the show, I rated myself a 5. And everybody always gets upset with Andrew because he rates me a 6. And I'm like, I think he's giving me just a hair more than I deserve, but I'm a normal, regular, 44-year-old Midwestern mom of 5. You want me to come on here and say I'm a 10? Do I look like Pamela Anderson? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, just be realistic. You guys get upset with him because he tries to give you a little tiny dose of reality and he doesn't blow a bunch of smoke up your ass. But he's never rude or mean unless you do it to him first.
That's not true.
Okay, can you give me an example?
I just gave you one.
Well, you had an attitude. So you were being kind of like how you did earlier, where you're like,
go
I'm
straight
gonna
to
dominate
your
a man and I'm gonna live.
No,
so if
but
you come with
when
a
I told-
sassy attitude and then call yourself a 10 when you're clearly objectively
Okay,
not
but
a 10.
I can have
Well, you're not
that
a-
was just my personality. But when I said it was that comment, when it's when the person said rate yourself 1 through 10, I literally, when it was my turn, I said 10, and then I was like, do you want me to stand up? Because I wanted him to rate me, and then he gave me an 8. But then he was like, he had Andrew rate me. He said a 3, or he's like, she's not a 10. She has no boobies.
Doesn't that make you uncomfortable?
I was like, what? I
Chain.
didn't do
Look
anything.
at that.
I
Look
just
at that chain, right? Man, I'm telling you, sisterhood code, man. Whoever write that book, I'm buying it. I'm buying it, man. It's just, bro, the sisterhood is so, man, it's a weird dynamic, man. Which I'm fascinated by it. They tend to do this a lot, right? They gonna, especially if a female is not part of the sisterhood. Oh my God, bro, she will be slashed in half, man.
rated myself.
This
Isn't
case
that
of-
weird
no.
that your man is
Mrs.
looking
Wilson.
at her chest? Isn't that weird?
She stood up and asked to have her body evaluated.
No,
So-
but no. I said I was asking. I wasn't asking for him. By the time I asked him, he wanted what's his name?
Andrew.
So,
Brian.
just a second here.
Brian?
You said you were a 10. Andrew said, no, you're not a 10. And he had to explain why. So that was the reason he gave. That's his opinion. No, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. It doesn't bother me.
But it was so unnecessary. That's why I'm saying that he is mean when there's no reason to be mean. Like that was like I was like, oh okay, I guess.
Yeah, I
Like,
watched
that his comment was so unnecessary.
I watch every episode. You were no little angel. You were not some sweet, nice girl.
I am
who's just
not
really
an angel.
kind.
I'm not. I never said that.
Right. So you had
lying.
attitude. You had sass. You
Yeah,
weren't
but never.
a sweet
Yeah,
little
but like
angel. So
in that
if he
moment.
said small boobs, then you have small boobs. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I'm sorry
Like
that
the
you
comment wasn't
noticed
necessary.
that-
The comment wasn't necessary.
We're just asking for how you feel about your grown-ass husband saying that stuff.
First of all, don't ever say grown ass man. It's ghetto.
I don't give a fuck.
Whoa.
Try reading some books.
Do you know what ghetto is?
Maybe. All of you've been to all this college, and I'm like, where's all the college education for all these college You're all in college, and you can't put two,
You're not even
I
using the
feel
word. You're not
so
even using the
bad
word
for
ghetto
you.
right. So
you have
maybe
like
should go
no
back.
He's
backbone.
a grown ass. He's not a grown ass, man.
have
But
no
saying those words does not make her ghetto.
Wow.
You have
Like,
no
you
backbone.
know what ghetto
You
is?
see, you see how they
A white,
No
a white woman is
back-
called.
they're ganging up on her. That's how you say, ganging up on her. Look at that. Their sisterhood's activated. We need to just gang up on her. Little lady over here in the left, she's standing back and say, I don't want to be part of this. Look at this. All of them are young and arrogant, guys. They're simply young and arrogant.
saying the word ghetto. Crazy.
I feel bad for you.
Crazy.
I feel bad for you because you're 22 and you're on OnlyFans and you've already hit your peak. And you're
Damn.
plenty happy to be rude. You have been so rude on this show, Bangs. Don't sit here and gaslight this whole audience. We've all seen you on here, multiple appearances. You are rude and nasty as you can be. And then you
Dude,
they're
that's
literally
the
perfect for each other.
views. That gets the views. Why do you think I keep getting invited back? Why do you think I keep getting invited back?
she's literally.
I'm the every time I'm on here, I am the title. I am the title every time.
Hollering,
lady.
I can't hear them. When you
Okay.
both start clucking,
No, I said that it's like I just complimented. Like you guys are literally the perfect couple. Like I see why he's attracted to you. Like yes, you guys are a perfect couple. Definitely.
listen, I think it's mean. I think it's actually the cruel thing to do to let young women have free license to act terrible, to be entitled, to be rude, to think that they owe everything handed to them on a silver platter because they push their boobs up, to act like this short phase of life when you're at your peak fertility is gonna last forever. That is what's mean, because what happens
I'm sorry, you can't live that anymore, and we're going through it. Like what?
See, this is
Wow.
the thing though, I never did that.
It's
I didn't do this
acting.
thing where I was just like
It's giving
promiscuous
old and
all
mad.
through my 20s and 30s. Are you gonna let me talk or what? So I didn't do this thing. I'd never did hands. I didn't sell pornography. I didn't go through a party phase. I was a mom when I was 20 years old. I only ever wanted to be in long-term committed relationships. I was hoping I would just get married and that would be it. I did get divorced. Wasn't my fault. Wasn't anything that could be done about it. Lesson learned, didn't repeat that. But what I'm telling you is the mean thing is the whole world telling you that you guys are strong, independent women where you're gonna cry because your hair straightener stopped working on your
Not so
birthday.
much on me. You said that you were being, or your man was only being rude to people who were being rude. I haven't been rude. So I don't feel like you should come for me.
Who's coming for her?
Did you say confront you?
Come for me.
Come for you. I'm not coming for you. I'm saying it's absurd for you to believe that it's like normal behavior to cry because your straight iron broke or cry on every birthday. Like, young women live in such delusion nowadays. That's why everything's all messed up. That's why everything's gone to hell in a handbasket. You guys are not acting like the grown, strong, independent, equal with men, women that you claim to be. And when I just come on here and say, look, this behavior is ridiculous, this is silly and absurd, you can't even take it. You can't take the slightest bit of just like obvious criticism. I'm not calling you names. I'm not swearing at you or anything like that. I'm just saying
And they're
you
ready to
guys
blow her.
were like, well, we want to know how you.
And they are all ready to go and attack her. They are, guys. And you know what's crazy? In my comment section, bro, older women defending these chicks, man. Older women defending these chicks. Those women that hit the wall and stuff like that. Some of those videos that I do, older women defending their behavior, man. It's insane. And that's when the red pill gets redder and redder and redder and redder. Because you start understanding this kind of behavior. This kind of behavior is not an accident, guys. This is not an accident. They're not meant for leadership, guys. I'm sorry to say that. But they're not meant for leadership. And they shouldn't, guys. We are the one that should be leading. And somehow we gave them the responsibility of pretending to have the capability of leading. What happened? They don't want to. They simply don't want to. You have a female here, the girl here in the middle saying that she like dominant guy, but a guy that's dominant that let her dominate. All these conundrums to be right, man. She's saying all these things because she wants to just be right. And the lady here, pink, the lady in the pink, I mean, she's so fake, man. She's fake as hell. And the one on the bottom corner, the chair number 1, she just going for a crisis, man. She probably mad. I'm saying, this is my opinion, guys. I might be wrong, but she probably mad too. This is not. You know what I was thinking? I mentioned this before. Women are not inspiring. They're not. They don't inspire, man. They don't. I have my kids. They're inspiring, bro. But you were talking about Beethoven, these great composers, these great inventors, man, being inspired by women. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't. You don't get inspired by this, man. You don't. You don't. You will get inspired by this? Really? Females sleeping around, doing all the things? Really? Can you write a symphony, man? Symphony. Brahms used to just be inspired by Clara Schumann writing his symphonies, man. Beethoven as well. Beethoven wrote his entire life, right? Because of chaos, man. Chaos with females, chaos with his own life. Or chaos, man. He was inspired by females. But those, But look at this, man. Look at this, guys. This is insane, I'm telling you.
You feel about this, and your husband is rude, and we don't like, it's like, okay, I'm trying to explain it to you.
Okay,
I'm trying to explain to you that this princess fantasy world that you live in does need to be, somebody needs to break that down for you, because that's not reality.
Can I ask you a genuine question?
Yeah.
How long have you been with Andrew? Like dating and married, I would say. Like in a romantic
17 years.
Okay, 17 years. So that's a long time. You guys seem like a relatively happy couple right now. Yeah. I'm sure you guys had to have some sort of like emotional connection, right? To like make your...
Okay, here we go. The vulnerable. Okay. You see, they were talking about vulnerability. This is a very important question. You want Rachel to open up. That's what she wants.
Whole relationship lasts 17 years. Can you tell me like how you guys do that? Because he made a remark earlier about women not liking, like men not being vulnerable because women will use that against them. And so like he was saying men shouldn't really show like a lot of emotions. And I'm genuinely curious, if you've been with him for 17 years, like how do you guys keep that? Because I'm sure you guys get into fights too. You guys are human.
Early on, we got into more fights because all of you girls, and me included, okay? I wasn't like born a great wife. I don't think great wives are born. I think they're made. I think it's something it's like anything else. It's a skill you have to learn and you have to work on. So early on, I had some attitude issues here and there. Probably not to the extent that a lot of women do, but I would do stupid shit like if he gave me like a little bit of, stern, if he would say, no, we're not going to do that. And I'd get like pouty and like throw a remote control at him or something. And he'd be like, excuse me? If you're going to throw stuff at me, I'm not going to be with you. Like, if that's how you're going to behave, I'll just walk out. He wouldn't get angry or yell at me. He was just like, I'm not going to tolerate that. And at first I would be like, well, that's so, like, how could, and then I thought about it and I went, wait, do I want to be the chick that throws stuff at my man? Like, because he said something that like just hit me wrong in the ear, right? So I learned that Andrew's a man who has boundaries, and he doesn't ever need to be like loud with me or rude with me to enforce them. He's just firm. He's just And he'll just be like, nope, you know, I'm just not going to accept that. So as time went on, of course we got closer, and, you know, we share things, we share life experiences, and he'll tell me how he feels about things to a certain extent. But what he doesn't do is talk to me like I'm one of his girlfriends, right? He doesn't come home from work and be like, you know, it was just such a tough day at work, and this guy said something to me, and it really made me feel unappreciated. And like, he doesn't dump like all of his emotional stuff on me. He has guy friends for that. He has a dad he can talk to if he's got like man stuff to talk about. We talk about what's pertinent, and we're super close. Like, anybody who watches the show probably already knows that he and I are like inseparable, super close, best friends, but it's still like a male-female relationship. I don't expect him to act like one of my girlfriends. And I think a lot of young women especially, they want their boyfriend to act like one of their girlfriends would, and you shouldn't expect that from a man, because here's why. If he actually did that, you wouldn't like it. If your boyfriend wanted to cry in your arms all the time when he had a bad day at work, you would very quickly be like, you'd be dry as the Sahara, right? It would just not be a turn on for you. So I think when you're young, you think you want that stuff from a man, but you really don't. So yeah, we're super close, but he doesn't have to like pour out his emotions to me all the time. He does when he wants to, and when he feels like that's something he wants to do. The rest of the time, I respect it if he doesn't want to do that.
Okay. And like, do you kind of, I mean, you guys are 17 years in, do you know like his like childhood, the way he grew up, and does that help you like understand him a lot better on why he acts the way he acts in certain situations, because you know his like background?
Well, yeah, but that's because, you know, you get to know their family, you hear stories, you know, like, of course I know his parents and his siblings, and so I've heard stories about him growing up. He'll tell me stories about growing up, but he's not going to sit down with me like a therapist and be like, you know, when I was growing up, I felt like my mom did this or my dad did that, and here's how it affected my development. Like, he's not going to talk to me like that, right? So I do know him. I know him really well, and I can observe his dynamic with his family and hear stories. So that's like how you get to know a man. It's not going to be like he's going to sit down on the phone with you for 4 hours and pour out his heart necessarily. Maybe some guys do that. Maybe it works for some people, but Andrew is like, he is a pretty stoic guy. He's the same guy at home that he is on the show. The difference is that he never has to have the same dynamic with me that he has with you guys, because it's a different relationship. Number one, I'm like pretty smart, to be honest, so he feels like we're on the same level. And I'm really respectful. I'm very submissive.
Are you implying that we're stupid?
Well, yes. It's true. Females only want to hear what they want to hear, man. This is crazy, man. All of a sudden, you're assuming that we're stupid? I would just
I'm
double
not saying
down.
you're stupid. I'm saying that it tends to
be...
be...
yes, sir. I would double down. I'm telling you. I would double down.
The case that a lot of the young ladies who come on here are not like, so Andrew's like a logician. He knows philosophy, he knows history, he's like a really, really, really smart guy. And so sometimes there's a little bit of a mismatch there, and the girls will take what he says wrong because they think he's talking down to them when all he's doing is talking how he normally talks. So he and I don't have that like discrepancy. I'm like, also, I write books and I'm pretty educated and stuff like that. So I just think we're like on the same level, and we have similar communication styles, so we don't have the same issue. Like, I don't take offense easily either. If he tells me, oh man, I really, like if I got bangs once and he was like, really don't like the bangs, babe, like you're very pretty, don't like the bangs. I'm just like, okay, no problem. He doesn't like the bangs, we'll grow out the bangs. Whereas a lot of women, I think, would like cry and get very upset, and it would be like a whole issue, and it's just not for me. So I'm just saying, like, personality wise, we match up pretty well that way for the most part.
Noted. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying, don't sit there like victims. If you're willing to dish it out, bangs, you got to be willing to take it. You can't sit there and call him wrinkly and old and insult him first, and then if he goes, yeah, well, you know, it looks like you've gained some weight since the last time you've been here, says something like that, it's like, what do you expect him to say? You knew what he was going to say if you said something like that to him. So,
but I'm not getting mad at him when he says anything. I literally just laugh and I smile. And
nah, you don't do that. You don't do that. Well, if you, I don't know, probably there's some weird attraction going on here, but she hates it. She hates it and loves it at the same time because a lot of these females, they have a high body count, guys. So again, let me just emphasize that they have a high threshold for emotional instability, and they like to be treated like this, man. They respond to this. I don't know if they like it, but they respond like in this regard.
It's okay.
Nod my head.
If you're
and that's
cool
like, I don't know. Do you guys want me to get mad or what? What reaction are you? What reaction is he looking for then? Because it's obviously not good enough. Just smiling and nodding my head when he calls me fat.
He's not looking for reaction. I wanted to come on because you say now to me, now that I'm here, like, oh, it doesn't really bother me. I just give it back and we do the back and forth. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like to give him some shit and you don't mind if he gives you some shit back, there's no problem with that.
I don't.
What you can't do is give him shit and then go, oh, he gave me shit back.
Girl, no one did that. No one did that.
You said, I feel sorry for your wife, and you don't have to feel sorry for me. I have a great husband. He's
Perfect.
a really brilliant guy, a really entertaining guy. He is a very handsome guy, too.
Awesome. Awesome. I don't know.
Are blind, but
I don't know why you have to come on here and defend it for us. If you were secure, you wouldn't have said anything.
Felt sorry for me. So I'm just letting you know, you don't have to feel sorry. I couldn't be more blessed to have the husband that I have, which honestly, I feel like I'm punching above my weight a little bit being married to this guy. But so don't feel sorry for me. I'm doing just fine. I'm very happy. Wouldn't want to be with anybody else. And he's a great dad. We have 4 daughters. He's a great dad. Super nice dad, really, really caring. But our kids also are really well behaved. They don't give him a bunch of shit and they don't give him a bunch of attitude. And if they did, they'd hear it from me before they heard it from him, because I would never allow them to disrespect him. So we have a very healthy, like, good family dynamic.
Hierarchy. So it's a patriarchy right there. There should be a patriarchy on this, right? So you have to make sure that your woman is correcting the kids, right? But not only correcting them, right? But correcting in the way that doesn't harmful, because you don't want to put your woman in a position where she had to put her will on them, right? That's why she has her husband. Husband is only when you need, you need to bring down the hammer. That's pretty much it is.
People seem to think that it's weird for parents to have boundaries or for spouses to treat each other respectfully, I guess. I don't know what you guys think is the problem.
Me personally, have never had a grown man talk to me that way. So
well,
it's just
that's
shocking.
The problem. See, that's the problem. You are used to giving people shit and attitude and you think you have free license to insult people or have a sassy attitude, and that because you have your big boobies pushed up, the men aren't going to say anything.
Girl,
and Andrew,
do you think
Andrew's 40 and married, and he doesn't give a shit, so he's going to give it right back to you. And if all men were that way, you wouldn't have the attitude you have.
Okay, I don't act like this outside of here. This is all for show. Okay, girl.
Well, if that's the case, then I don't know what the problem is.
Me either. I don't know what. You decided you wanted to come on here and have a chat with me, so.
Yeah, because you invoked me a couple of times. A couple different times now you've made comments about, oh, your wife, do you talk to your wife this way? I feel bad for her. I can't believe you have a wife when you act like this. And it's like, if you know the nature of the show, and this is all for show, then there shouldn't be a problem. There's been plenty of women on this show, by the way, who Andrew has been super nice to, has gotten along with great. The only time he gives women shit is if they give him shit first. If they come on with an attitude, if they act entitled, things like that. Then yeah, he's going to match your energy.
Interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. See you in the next one. I'm out.